what's up everyone? Coach Nate here from The Run Experience, and we're diving into another shoe review, this time continuing our tour of the carbon-plated propulsive madness that is gripping the shoe industry. This time, we're taking a stop with the Hoka Carbon X. This is a special shoe. It owns the new 50-mile world record thanks to Jim Walmsley's grit and effort. Really, the whole Hoka team was pulling for him there and running with him as he went down the road. But I want to see if this shoe is the real deal, if it doesn't work for just athletes like Jim Walmsley, if it works for everyone else. So I've been running these things the last couple months. I've put some good miles in. I've put some medium long runs in and a lot of tempo and speed work. And today I'm going to share my thoughts and whether it's worth that $180 price tag. Hey, before we get into the specs, remember, if you are new here and you're watching this video, hey, you are a runner too, and we put out videos each and every week designed to make you a better, stronger, faster runner so you can keep earning those miles, and that involves getting in the right gear. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. It's right around here, and we can keep going here. Now, this beautiful shoe weighs in at about 8.8 ounces in a size 9, which is pretty astonishing given the pretty fat stack height this thing has at almost 30 millimeters. It is a 5 millimeter heel toe drop, means it's pretty low. And it has this ProFly X experience that really ties the whole midsole and shoe together. So there's a curved carbon plate here in the middle, and it's sandwiched between two different types of foam. There is a CM Betty Fly foam above it, which gives us a little bit more comfort, and then injected below is a rubberized EVA for not only durability and propulsion. And as I'll talk about later, you can definitely feel it. It makes a difference. This is a wider flared midsole platform apparently for Hoka, which gives it this stable base, especially when you have this carbon plate in there. It has a single layered engineered mesh upper for airflow and lightweight gusseted Lycra tongue. I love the word gusseted, I think that's awesome. But really what this does is it prevents this tongue from sliding around. I think tongues that sliding around are the worst. So I'm very happy that that doesn't happen with these shoes, making this overall, they claim, a lightweight, cushioned, and propulsive shoe for those marathons and ultras and beyond. Okay, so the first thing I really noticed about this shoe is, one, I was like, I dig the colorway. I love the gray and the red and the blue accents right here. It also looks like a kind of a normal shoe. I just wouldn't even have thought that there was a carbon plate in here. There's nothing zhuzhed up about it. But when you pick this thing up and move it around, you're like, oh yeah, this thing is stiff. So you can definitely tell something is in there. I love the feel of it. The fact that it's a wider shoe just makes a difference for me. Hoka's run a little bit on the narrow side, so even comparing this to the Mach 3, I noticed that this was a little bit of a wider forefoot, which I liked. I think that had to do with them trying to find a wider base and platform to create some stability with the carbon plated shoe. I'm like, okay, keep going, keep those wider forefoots in there. I think it makes a big difference. I love low drop shoes, so the 5 millimeter aspect of this doesn't bother me at all. And the other part was just initially putting them on and getting a sense of the ride. At first you're like, I can't really tell. Is there something in here? Is there not? I didn't feel like I was in trampolines, like springing off the ground, but I did notice this nice balance of cushion and responsiveness, which I'll get more to in the running part itself. So alas, 2020, no races, etc. We don't need to go too far in there, but I haven't been doing any real longer training for any longer races there, but I still have been hitting some pretty hard Wednesday intervals with some friends, remotely that is, and logging, some solid 8 to 10 mile runs with various tempo from mile to 5K and 10K effort. And I've been logging a lot of those miles in this shoe. And thus far, I've really liked wearing them. They're definitely light. I love the breathability component, especially as I'm running through the summer right now. As I said, that wider forefoot and ride felt really good. As I mentioned, I didn't really fully notice the spring yet, but as I broke the shoe in a little bit more, I felt like I noticed it a little bit more. And most importantly, when I took these things off, did a test run in the Mach 3, the other Hoka, and then put these back on, I was like, okay, there's definitely something happening in these shoes. But it's not over the top, which makes me feel like, you know what? This is a great everyday trainer shoe. This isn't just the special show horse shoe you're only gonna use for your race. You could log a lot of regular miles in this, and I didn't feel like it disrupted my mechanics in any weird way. It felt like a nice compliment. In fact, I know Hoka is proud of using this carbon plate, the combination of the two foam, to kind of increase that classic Hoka rocker feel as you go through your strides. All I can say is I noticed that warming up, it felt pretty smooth. And then as I started getting a little bit more forward in front of my feet, doing those faster intervals, I didn't really have to think about the shoes at all. I was just floating and flying across the ground, which is probably as good of endorsement as you can ask of any shoe. In terms of durability, I've probably got at least 50, 75 miles in, and I'm not really seeing any degradation in the sole. It's holding up pretty darn well, especially when shoes are getting rid of like the heavier rubber lugs on the bottom of the shoes to save a little bit of weight. Sometimes it can start to wear pretty thin, but thus far, you know, hasn't really happened. So let's talk cost. This shoe is $180, so it is more than some of the other high performance shoe options you're gonna see out there in the $150, but it falls way short of the $300+ price tag you're seeing from the Nike Alphafly. And the other great thing is that I can tell this is a durable shoe meant to put some miles in. Just poking around online, the shoe's been out for over a year. People are definitely comfortably getting anywhere from 350, 400, upwards of 500 miles in the shoe. So, you know, you're gonna get that money stretched out pretty decently. I would say this is a great option for half marathon to marathon, if not longer, especially for that additional protection. I mean, it is pretty light, so you're not even trading that much for the shorter distances from a weight perspective. So it works really, really well there. And those are some things I would consider. The only real knock for this shoe is just the width. I would love this shoe to be a little bit wider. I just noticed that my big toe and my first metatarsal just wants to push out a little bit further, and it just doesn't have it. But hey, I got wide feet, so that might just be my issue. Now, if you're still curious about the other type of carbon plated shoes out there, well, I've done a review of the ASICS Meta Racer. And this is an interesting shoe because it's not trying to compete necessarily at the marathon to ultra level. In fact, what they're looking at is a carbon plated shoe that's targeted for shorter distance races and racers. It's a lighter shoe, super springy and responsive. I do a whole review on it. You can go ahead and watch it over my shoulder. Otherwise, if you want to get this shoe yourself, guys, you can find a link down below. Click over to our friends at Running Warehouse and they will get your size and color delivered to you lickety split. Otherwise, guys, I'm gonna keep filming and I'll see you in the next video. You keep earning those miles. Oh, so bad.
What does this look and sound like right here? How does this look and sound with the GoPro right here? How about now? How about now? How about now? How does this look? How does this look? How does this look? Let's go back here. What does this look right here with this GoPro like this? Checking, 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 checking. Hello, hello.